tough response by our football team. Proud of them, just the way the guys handled the bye week. Really, we're looking forward to this game. I thought we attacked it, dominated the football game on all sides. Was just really an awesome performance, gritty, tough performance. I think this team was just simply, I don't know, just a mindset. I just felt like they just were not gonna, they were not gonna come out here with anything less than a win. Like you could just feel it with the group. One of the best weeks of preparation that we have had since I've been coaching here. And yeah, I mean, what a cool time, cool atmosphere. I mean, you know, I think several years ago, it's kind of what we all dreamed up this would be. You know, Coliseum lit up, two iconic programs going at it, and a heavy hitter. You know, Trojans coming off the field with the victory, and the place totally on fire. So awesome win. Really proud of the group.
What made the week of practice as good as you're talking about?
There was just an intensity the entire week. I just think the excitement of the opportunity ahead. I think, you know, some of the disappointment of not finishing the previous game. I think the confidence of the people in the room, you know, players and coaches, and the group that we have. I think they were just eager and just rose to the occasion in every single way.
We saw Wayman and Eli both carted off. What's their status, and what did King Miller kind of mean to this team today?
Yeah, King was huge. Just played, stepped up, made big plays. Was obviously really important for us with the way that it went down. You know, we'll get confirmation. You know, Eli's doesn't look super positive in terms of the rest of the season. We'll get confirmation on it, but doesn't look positive. You know, Wayman wasn't able to come back in tonight, so we'll just continue to evaluate him and see where he's at.
Coach, you've talked a lot about development in your time at USC. Tonight, no DJ Winfield, no Elijah Page, no Killian O'Connor, no sacks allowed by that offensive line. You rushed for over 200 yards. What does tonight say about your development, especially in the offensive line?
Yeah, I mean, I think it says we're a tough-ass physical program. That's what it says. And yeah, I mean, to play, you know, that defensive line, a lot of really good players up there. Having a performance that they did, -3 starters. I don't think many offensive lines in the country would have been able to do that, -3 starters. So yeah, I think, and then equally, I would say, you know, performance of our defensive line. You know, really controlling the game. You know, harassing the quarterback. We did a good job closing space in the run game. You know, we just. There was a complete performance on the line of scrimmage, and that's where it always starts in football. It doesn't matter what league you're at, doesn't matter what school you're at, doesn't matter who you're playing. Like, it always starts there. We won the line of scrimmage tonight.
Coach, what gave you the confidence that King would come in and do this well?
Yeah, you know, I got asked a similar question after he popped a run in one of the early games. You know, it's just what he does in practice. He's a hard worker. He's a humble guy. He cares about this team a lot, and so. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, hell, we didn't have anybody else, so what was we gonna do, you know? So I was, we were starting to scratch in the dirt a little bit, but no, he was awesome. The moment was certainly not too big for him.
On that note, Brian Jackson was out before the game. How does he suit up at halftime? What's that rule? How's that work?
Kind of went off here. Yeah, so unique situation. I want to say this well, so you guys don't rake me over the coals if I don't say it perfectly, but. It was a wellness issue, obviously, in the game. You know, he's been practicing in a very limited capacity in the build-up for the last several weeks. He's had a turf toe. And so there was the expectation coming into this game that outside of just a near catastrophe that we weren't going to play him. And so the game plays out. We have a couple injuries that, you know, you never obviously expect to happen, 2 of them just like that. We were able to get in communication with the league office, explain the situation. Our doctors medically cleared him, and it just became a wellness issue for us here. So yeah, we made sure to clear it. The kid was ready to go and stepped up. And I mean, that's what you got to have, man. You got to have tough guys that play through stuff. You want to win at this level. You got to have guys that sacrifice like that for the team. He certainly did.
Yeah.
Coach, after a win like this, what kind of opportunity do you see moving forward?
It's a great win. It's you know, to me, it's all about, you know, tonight right now and this team and their performance. I mean, that's a good football team that we just beat here, and that was an important win. And so, yeah, now it's on to the next. I mean, when you play our schedule, like there's not too much time to celebrate. We know we got another big football game coming up, and you know, we'll, you know, excited to go back and prepare the way that we did this week and get ready for that one.
You had 25 commits here, and you had one of the most impressive lists of 2027, 2028 prospects here. How much was maybe on the line here tonight with this game?
Yeah, I mean, football for us it's a week to week thing, man. You know, it's our job, this is our life, and so we put everything into these weeks and these games. So I mean, I don't know that it felt any different than other ones do. I mean, I think you sense the moment of the atmosphere that these two programs, obviously how good they've been recently. You know, it was a big opportunity. There's no question. I don't like to say on the line. I felt like it was a big opportunity we didn't want to miss. So, yeah, and I think, you know, for all the, you know, talk and people want to discuss this and that, for those recruits and the people that were in the building tonight, I would imagine a lot of people would say that's what it used to feel like around here in the Coliseum. And that was a epic atmosphere. The place was just on fire, and I think it was great for our guys, our players, our future players. You know, LA, just everyone liked to see that, and it was an important step. I'll definitely concede that.
Coach, how have you seen just the level of physicality for your squad build, just sort of leading up into being able to have a performance like you did tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think we know we have a physical group, and within the walls, I think there's a lot of confidence in that. And I think the biggest difference now is we have some depth in terms of the line of scrimmage, you know, the defensive front seven, you know, with the physicality piece. And so, you know, it's not just one or two guys here or there. And I think the mentality of the program is continuing to trend in a really positive way. And so, but you know, physicality is you got to prove it every single week, you know, and that's part of it. That's just the name of the game. So we'll have to do it again this week.
Bishop.
Coach, obviously it was a great atmosphere at the Coliseum tonight. Those of us who've been around the program for a little bit know that it often hasn't been like that in recent years. So what would your message be to the fans who packed out the Coliseum tonight?
Yeah, that's what it should feel like in there, you know, and I can't tell you the difference it makes, you know, because when you're USC and you go on the road into other people's houses, like we have to deal with that every single time, and it's a challenge. It's part of the great thing about playing on the road, but you got to overcome it. So, you know, you could just feel the impact of our crowd tonight. Like you could feel the energy. I mean, it impacted the game. I feel like it impacted the opponent, and that's what great home crowds should do. And I mean, I think everybody didn't even want that one to end. And so, whenever we're back here in a couple of weeks, let's light it up again.
Coach, after today's performance, how do you feel like the defensive line should be respected nationally? And just based on how Jay performed, how he should be looked at in the Heisman race?
We got to go earn our respect. You know, that's just part of it. And I think, you know, whether it's the defensive line, whether it's any side of the ball or any player, you got to earn your respect on a week-to-week basis. So our D-line did a great job tonight. I was really proud of the way they played. We got to go do it again next week. Listen, you know, the awards stuff and all that, man. I've been lucky to be around a couple of guys that have been able to do some of those things on all sides of the ball, man. We don't talk about that. We don't care about that. That is never brought up for 1 second in my mind or any other player's mind. We play for USC. We play for our team. Whatever happens after that happens.
Bishop, what do you feel like the defense proved tonight, in particular the secondary?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it just starts off with the D-line. I think the D-line did a really good job of winning early downs, and making some third and longs. We got into some exotic looks with this young quarterback and threw a lot of stuff at him. So I think the secondary just executed well, and you know, we made the plays that come to us. I think D-Nick had a really good game in the boundary. Number one's been a really good player for them. I think did a great job of shutting them down. So when corners play good, you know, defense could open the playbook up and do whatever we want. So I think we just did a great job of executing.
Coach, were you expecting to be able to run against Michigan's run defense like you did tonight? Was there stuff you saw on film, and just what made that rushing offense from you guys so impactful?
I mean, it's easy to say yes now. I mean, I knew it was going to be a battle. They're good. Like, I mean, they're a good team. They're good defense. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and act like they're not. I felt like that if we played our game, that we were going to be able to have some opportunities. And against a group like that, you got to take advantage of it. And I think we did. You know, it was a challenge. It's not like it's easy, but our guys stood up to the challenge, and obviously being able to run it on them, not many people have been able to. And that was a huge step for us.
Stuart Moore?
Lincoln, how special was the tight end's performance, especially after Lake took that massive hit?
Say it one more time, sorry.
How special was the tight end group's performance today?
Yeah, those guys have been tough for us all year. You know, Tabo got into this really good things. Obviously, Lake and Walker continue to impact the game in so many ways, and have been really tough competitors. And you know, we've been working working like crazy to build that room up over the last few years. So it's great